appreciate the things that the person is or does. And that goes beyond, oh, you bought Cold Stone for me, thank you. I mean, that's good. Stay grateful. Don't take anything for granted. But there are things your partner does or is or has that other people don't. One thing about my husband, for instance, is he's a very stress-free person. He's not hard to please. Does that make sense? He doesn't have wahala. Let me just put it like that. He doesn't have wahala. That's something that a lot of people cannot say about their spouses. And so it's something that I'm so grateful for. Because, man, imagine having a stressful life and a stressful spouse and everything is just like stress. It's nice that when I go out and have a stressful day, I can come back to a chill person. And someone said this to me once, that being a chill person is a form of selflessness. And I thought, wow, I thought that was so profound, because it's very true. If you're a high maintenance person, every time this, every time that, you don't do this, you don't like this, you don't have that, it can be a selfish thing. So if your partner is a chill person, bruh, you have hit the jackpot. Don't take it for granted at all. So a lot of times I will express it verbally, like, man, you're such a chill person. Like, I'm so grateful to have such a chill person like you. And other times I can show my gratitude in other ways. And yes, even though I tried to downplay this before, being grateful for the little things as well as the big things is important. I mean, one wonderful thing my husband does, I'm sorry, I'm one of those people who says my husband every 7 seconds. Okay, so another really lovely thing that my husband does is every time he goes out, he, will buy me something, even if it's something small like a sausage roll, and I love food. So for me, you going out and coming back with food is just like, whoo, love you so much kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't take those small things for granted, because I think those are the things that keep, I don't want to use the word keep it exciting, not really, but those are the small things that have an effect on your day and have an effect on your relationship. And it's small, but it's significant. Does that make sense? And that leads me to my next point. I don't even know how many I've talked about at this point, but my next point. Know your love language. It's so important. One of my cousins said to me that I can preach on Sunday on love languages, and it's true, because I'm very, very passionate about love languages, because I think that if you don't know your love language and your partner doesn't know your love language, you're just going to be going around in circles, because you're going to be doing something you think the person should appreciate and they don't, and they're going to be doing the same. So nobody feels loved or cared for or appreciated, and you're just going around in circles. If you don't know the love languages, for instance, okay, let me just break it down really simply. There are 5 love languages. There's physical touch, there's quality time, there's gifts, there's words of affirmation, and there's acts of service. You can research this online, like, by all means, just so that you can get more details about each of these love languages. But for instance, my love language is quality time. So if you buy me 10 Ferraris, I mean, I'll be very happy. I'll drive one every day of the week. But a better way to show me that you love me is to spend time with me. Like I said, I'm a very people person. I like hanging out with people. I like conversations. I love making memories. I love experiences with people I love. So quality time is very important to me. And it's not just with my husband. It's with anybody. It's with my nephews. It's with my parents. It's with my moms. It's with my everybody. Like, I just love spending time with people. That's how I show love. And that's how I receive love as well. So your partner's own could be gifts, for instance. Please don't think they're materialistic. They're not materialistic. That's just how they receive love. And there's nothing wrong with that, And with gifts, it could be something so tiny. You could go out and come back with Coke and Gala, for instance. I'm just saying, for instance. And, to the person, it just means, wow, you went out, you thought of me, you bought something, you made the effort, you bought something, and you came back. It will mean a lot to them. So they're not materialistic. Please don't get it wrong. And that's why I said, please, if you don't know about love languages, please do more research. It does wonders for a relationship. Another important thing I've learned, which is kind of more general, is the importance of setting your priorities straight. So I feel, especially for a person who got married younger, I think these days a lot of our priorities can be misplaced sometimes, especially when it comes to relationships. I said earlier in the video that I didn't have a proposal, I didn't have any of that pomp. And I'm not saying that if you have a low-key relationship, that now means it's going to work out. No. I've said this on my Instagram before. There's no recipe for success as such. If every day your pictures are splashed around social media and every day I love B, that doesn't mean your relationship is going to crash. At the same time, if you have a low-key, humble relationship, that doesn't mean it's going to work out. There's no formula. But I think when it comes to priorities, from conversations, from things I see online, I feel like people don't really know what is important. I was speaking to a colleague / friend of mine a few weeks ago, and we're talking about how sometimes when people are looking for things in a partner, they are not thinking long term. Okay, so for instance, you want a guy that's about town, you want a guy that's popular, you want a guy that's a social butterfly, you want an extrovert, you want a guy who has a good job. I'm not saying that those things are bad things, okay, but in excess, or when those things are extremes, it has its downsides. If you want a Lagos boy as a boyfriend, are you gonna want a Lagos boy as a husband? And when I say Lagos boy, forgive me, I'm not saying all guys in Lagos, but you want a guy that's the life of the party, if you marry this guy and his money that you people are supposed to use for rent, that he uses to follow his boys to Dubai for bachelor party, are you gonna be happy about that? Like, there are so many things that are more important than others, and I think that a lot of people have their priorities not in the right place. For a spouse, we all want different things, but there are things that are universally good to have in a partner. For instance, someone who is reliable, someone who is trustworthy, someone who treats people well. These are important things. Sometimes we get it wrong. There's so much on Instagram. There's so much that you see and absorb, and it's so easy to get lost in all of it. Some days I'm very, very glad that I have a low-key relationship. It doesn't mean that sometimes I don't put my husband's photo on my Insta story and do love or whatever, but I know that at the core of it is not those photos or a grand proposal that makes a relationship what it is. When I was getting married, lots of people found it weird because I had taken pre-wedding photos and they were not on social media, because my husband is not into stuff like that. He's not into flash and pump. And even when we were going out, it took me some time to get comfortable with it, because you want to show off your pictures and you went here and you went there. But he's not like that, and he had to break it down to me. And after a while, I understood that it's actually not about these things. If you have someone who treats you with respect, someone who genuinely cares for you and shows it, someone who is there for you, someone who is reliable, all these things, these are what really matters. Not really I can post on Instagram or I can't post on Instagram. Get over it. So these are just a few things that I have learnt on my not so long journey. My marriage will be long in Jesus' name. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been a long time, it's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, please, I'd love us to have a conversation about this. If you're married, what have you learned? Please, even if you've married a month, you have something to offer, believe me. So please leave a comment, or you can tweet me at Kumi_, or let's share, let's talk. I'd love to talk more about this. All right, thanks so much, and I will see you in my next video.